Hey folks, Phil the Bee-Man here. We're out feeding hives today, and I thought I'd have a look at these ones. When I was doing the last round of honey pull, we ran out of pollen patties just before we ran out of hives. So I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hives marked and didn't get a patty. The rest of the yard, there's these two pallets, plus there's a bunch on the other side. But I thought we'd just look at maybe 3 hives of each and see if it made a difference or if I wasted my time and my money. So let's have a look. And this isn't going to be very scientific. I'm not measuring, square inches of brood or anything. And, visible bee population isn't going to tell us very much because these bees would have all, it's the amount of brood in the hive that is going to be affected by feeding versus the. So this is a hive that did not get a patty. So there's a smaller patch of brood there. Don't see anything here. I'm seeing lots of I see eggs there. So I don't think there's brood on this one. That's just honey. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's our girl. There's the queen right there. She's still on the job. That would be another way to, probably if you had a micro scale and you could weigh the queen, you'd probably have some indication of how fired up her metabolism was to be laying eggs. That would be probably a way of scientifically measuring this. Brood there. Starting to ease off a little bit. Not much brood there. That's kind of a crappy frame though, so let's put that one on the outside. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Although this is pretty much a half at best. 6.5, let's call it. And some of those frames there was open areas where there could have been brood and there wasn't. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that's one with no patty. Its neighbor here did get one, or at least that's what the lid says. And there's still some of it left. I'm going to be super careful getting that first frame out. Okay, so this is going to be a smaller hive because this frame here Hatch a brood. Not much eggs. It's, I think, the 9th of September today. Fall is in the air. Although we are on our second yard of the day with an absolutely clean Varroa shake, so we're feeling pretty happy about that. There's our girl, nice bright queen. And she's laying eggs, but not tons. Nice brood there, eggs around it, but again, just the odd one. Not much. I'm seeing very little open larvae. I'm seeing some eggs, seeing capped brood. This hive has no more, glistening larvae being fed than the other one. It is a smaller hive. There's more honey and less brood area in the brood nest. This hive may even been slightly honey bound in the summer, although it was probably just a smaller one and filled its empty space with honey in the bottom box. There's nothing wrong with that. Eggs there, nice patch of eggs there, but very, like, no open larvae at all, really. So, what does that mean, do you suppose? If you were looking for a clear difference between these two hives, I don't see it. Look at it. A couple more, maybe? Dave, you pick one of these along here. What do you think I should do?
Let's go with this one.
Single there, okay. Yeah. Oh, look at this one. Come around to this side. Did you know it was like that when you told me?
No, no, I didn't know.
Okay, well, no shortage of bees, that's for sure. This is going to be tricky to get into. I know the bee books all say you got to take the outside frame first to avoid hurting the queen, and they're right, but with a little bit of care you can get any frame out. I always take whatever the easiest one's going to be, the least burr comb. So this hive is already starting to, I haven't even fed these yet, and they're starting to fill their brood nest with honey they're making somewhere. Now remember, this is one that did not get a patty. And is absolutely packed with bees. Nice slab of brood there. I don't know where they're going to put the 4 gallons of syrup we're about to give them. That's their problem, I guess, not mine. I'm seeing the same thing, which is absolutely no open brood. And this one, if it was springtime, we would call this hopelessly honey-bound. In the fall, it's just well fed. They don't swarm just because they don't wanna. They know they know what swarming before winter would do. So this is a hive that could have raised as much brood as it wanted to and just didn't, I would say. Got to put it in just as carefully as we got it out. You got to give time for the bees to feel the pressure of the frame and get out of the way. All right, so that's ridiculously strong, but no more brood than the others. Let's check one of the fed ones. Which one, Dave? Left or right?
Left.
Left. Front or back?
Front. So
Okay.
this one, yeah.
Another nice looking hive. It's a queen from 2019. She might be marked, well, if she is the queen that matches the tag, she'll be marked green. Lots of honey, no brood. No brood. Some brood there with open cells surrounding. Oh, there's our girl. See, her queen dot matches the green writing on the front of the hive. Now, she's working there, but what is she trying to do? Oh, I see some eggs. So it's always an interesting question, like, she's laying eggs, but you're not seeing, 4 or 5 day old larvae. Are the bees culling them? What goes on with that? I don't know, but there's some open brood, just a little bit right there. Dave, can you get right in here?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah?
see it, yeah. Yeah.
But not much. And this is a hive that's just absolutely inhaled that pollen patty, but does have pollen reserves here. This frame is, hatching out here and has not been replaced with brood. Or if the queen laid there, then the bees are choosing not to bring those eggs into development. These hives think it's fall. Like, there's just no way around that. We've been thinking about what to do with my mites, and I have ordered Apivar strips. I hate to use the same treatment back to back, and I certainly don't want to use it 3 times, so I got to look at options for next spring. But some of those yards with those high numbers, we got to get on top of that. So, and then there's brood right against the wall. What do you know? Very little open brood. So, I'd have to check. I think we pulled these the last week of August. So that's only 2 weeks ago. That's when the pollen patties went in. If we were looking for some sort of sustained flush of brood rearing, I'm not convinced that I'm seeing it. So, I don't know. Did I waste my money and time on those patties? Maybe. Is this a good test at this location when this site probably had more access to natural pollen than some of mine? So maybe that's why the hives look more similar to each other. It's kind of why when I knew I was running out, I did this site last, because I thought they had the best chance to be fine on their own. But at least with the hives I've seen here, if you were to ask me would I feed supplemental pollen in August again, I'm not sure I'd get that excited about it. So, I hope that was useful to you. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great day.